know we're in the middle of winter in Vrindavan. It's very cold, but now we'll stay with Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We'll all go to Jagannath Puri now in Siddhabakul. There it's very warm. Yes. Under the Siddhabakul tree, there's Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur. Last time we were just glorifying Haridas Thakur. So along the way, you'll know more his glories. Okay, so we'll start with first chapter of Sri Harinama Cintamani. Now I'm still encouraging you, please read the book, please read this chapter, read on your own, and then this discussion is there to help us understand easier, no? So in chapter 1, this is introduction to the glories of the holy name. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he set the scene. Okay, where is the scene? First he was glorifying, of course, in every chapter he's always glorifying Pancha Tattva. Glorifying Mahaprabhu and Shakti. So Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar, then Lord Nityananda Janava, and then Advaita and Sita. He's always like that, you know. He's always the Shakti and Shaktiman. And then Srivas Thakur and all the devotees. Glorifying, and then he begins. So he began this chapter by telling that Nilachal, on the shore of Nilachal means Jagannath Puri. So in Nilachal, there's the temple there where there is a very special manifestation of Krishna is being worshipped. Who is that? Lord Jagannath. So in this place, that is the same place where Mahaprabhu stayed. We know Mahaprabhu, he stayed in this world for 48 years, no? Half of that in his household, in Navadvip, household life. That time he had his childhood pastimes. Then he had his this Vidya Vilas, this scholar pastimes. Not like as devotee. But then later on, after he met his Guru Dev, Ishwarapuri, then now he became Bhabuk Nimai. Now he's absorbed in all these ecstatic emotions. And then he started his Sankirtan movement. And then later on he took sannyas. When he took sannyas, that's at the half of his life, 24. He was 24 years old. And then after that, he went to Jagannath Puri, we know. The first 6 years was spent traveling. So first, you know where he went, right? Where? South India. South India. Then when he returned, again he traveled. He actually wanted to go to Vrindavan. So he planned passing by Bengal, going towards Vrindavan. But then he did not push through with his plan. After he met with Rupa and Sanatan, actually Rupa Sanatan, that was their first time they met, and Sanatan Goswami especially. They know how dangerous it is, like Mahaprabhu traveling to Mathura, all this Muslim, government is there, and when he was there, so many followers are there, so he catches so much attention. So Sanatana Goswami said, no, don't, very dangerous, don't go this time. Go, not so many people, alone or someone like this, with few only, like-minded. That's also that's like when you say oh, it's very dangerous, that's the external, but the internal teaching actually there is teaching for us. You want to go to Vrindavan, you don't go a big party and we're showing off, everyone like tourists and like not like different kinds of personalities, not like-minded. You go to Vrindavan only with like-minded person. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying like go to Amar Jasavastani, like Pranay Bhakti Sangi, only with the Pranay Bhakta, only those with love. So now, so Mahaprabhu he went back to Jagannath Puri, and then next he went. That's the third time he went directly to Vrindavan, and then he returned. After that, he never traveled anymore. So 6 years was spent traveling. The rest was 18 years. So he was in Puri for 18 years, and it is said that the first 6 years also of that 18 years was like the fun time. Like Mahaprabhu always with his associates, and of course he has all this like ecstatic leela, and but that was like okay, spent like with many devotees. But in the last 12 years, then that was a time when Mahaprabhu was like so absorbed, like all those emotions of Mahabhav, and like the devotees are in pain looking at Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu like always in the Gambhira, like that, in deep separation. So, but okay, now Mahaprabhu staying in Puri, and we mentioned last time Haridas also came, and Mahaprabhu gave that place Siddha Bakul. He was staying. Mahaprabhu would visit him every day. Okay, so in this. The first chapter, it is said Mahaprabhu, he was taking bath in the ocean one day. After taking bath, then he came to Siddhabakul to visit Haridas. And so then Haridas was so happy to meet him again. And then Mahaprabhu asked the question, and this is the root question, like why this book manifests. This Harinama Cintamani. Only by this question of Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu was asking Haridas, like what is the easiest like way to deliver the jivas, like this. And you know what Haridas, like what happened to Haridas? When he heard Mahaprabhu ask him the question, then he started crying, and he fell down at the feet of Mahaprabhu and embraced his feet. Like sometimes when someone is asked, like sometimes when you become proud, like of all the people, like I'm being asked, like so see I know, like, and I had to explain like this. But Haridas, he was never in that mood. So when he was asked, then he was feeling like I'm fallen. What's what's the good like benefit? And this is what he told to Mahaprabhu. He said, like, what is the benefit of asking this question to me? Like, I am nothing, I'm fallen. Like, how do I know? Like this. And that is humility. Of course he knows. But also, we can understand another reason, like really why he's crying. Because, when he sees how Mahaprabhu has so much mercy. Mahaprabhu is God. And he has this concern for the jivas. Like how, he worries for the jivas. The jivas, they don't even worry about their condition. They're all suffering here. And they think like, oh, we're fine. And, they're enjoying, so-called enjoying. And they're not worried. They're not thinking about like how I will be liberated. But Krishna himself, the Supreme Person, he doesn't need to worry about the jivas. But he now is in anxiety, like how to deliver all the jivas. And so Haridas, he's seeing like, oh, how compassionate Mahaprabhu is. So that's also, we can understand like, oh, that's why he was crying. But then, mostly because of his humility also, he embraced Mahaprabhu's feet. And he said, like, you're the Supreme Person, like, I am fallen, I am your servant, you're my master. And he said, like, what do I know? What do I know? Like how I tell you, like you know everything, like that. And he sees again this like impetus for pride, when you're like you're being like given like authority, like when you're asked, and Then he said like, oh, please protect me. He actually said like that to Mahaprabhu, please protect me. So, but then he said, yeah, he was telling like, I am servant, you're my master. So the servant is bound to fulfill the, the order of the master. So you ask, and therefore, okay, like I will have to say something, he said. I said, but whatever I say, I know this is from you. So this is mood of the devotee. This is actually, he's showing also a lesson for us. That's why Haridas is Acharya, He's teaching at the same time by he's not only speaking words. In his life, everything he's doing is teaching. So now, he's telling like, okay, I don't know anything, but I have to follow your order. But now, I'll be explaining, but he's showing to us like, okay, you may know something, or, but you don't try to claim the credit like, this is from me, like that. So he said like, whatever I say, this is from you. And now I will only speak whatever you inspire me to speak, and I will not even like think about like the faults or like mistakes. So then that's the beginning of the discussion. So it's very interesting how he started his answer. So before he Mahaprabhu was asking like how. What's the question again? How the jivas can be delivered. So then, easily, he said, delivered easily. He could have easily answered, like, oh, by chanting the holy name and like this. But he wants to establish very, clearly first. And this is for the benefit of us, that, because some people may not think like that they need to be delivered. So then first establishing, like why Mahaprabhu asked this question. What is the situation of the jivas? Like that. So his very first discussion was actually all about Sambandha Tattva actually. So he first glorifying about Krishna. He said Krishna is the Supreme Person. And okay, he is Vibhu. Vibhu meaning the Supreme. And as Vibhu, he has vaibhav. Vaibhav means glories. Or like he's Shaktiman, so he has Shakti. Like this. So Krishna, the Supreme, by nature he is independent. He's independent and full of desires. This is the main characteristics. When you say God is, and this is nicely explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur also in Dasmul. When you talk about God, actually in his Dasamul Tattva, three things. He is Parama Tattva. He is the Supreme Absolute Truth. When you say Supreme Absolute Truth, he's nothing more needs to be known if you know him. He's the absolute truth. All truth is coming from him. And he's the highest truth. Okay. So he's the Parama Tattva. And he is Sarva Shaktiman. Sarva Shaktiman meaning, what's meaning Sarva Shaktiman? He's a possessor of all power. And really that's the definition of God. He is the Supreme Powerful. All power is coming from him. And next is Rasabdim. He is an ocean of mellows, ocean of rasa. Very sweet. So when he's talking about, then he proceeds by telling he's Shaktiman, or he's Vibhu, so he has Vaibhav, or Shakti. And he has three kinds of Shakti. So, you know them? I think you must have heard. We have heard so many times. There's Chit Shakti, there's My Shakti, and the Jiva Shakti. So his original Shakti, his complete Shakti, there is the Chit Shakti. Chit Shakti meaning the eternal, his internal potency. his original potency. Krishna, the Supreme Person, he's full of desires. He has unlimited desires. And all his desires are fulfilled by his shakti. So that original shakti, the Swarup Shakti, the original is, he calls Chit Shakti. That's the spiritual world. So all manifestations of this, like Chit Shakti, like all manifestations in the spiritual world, all the personalities in that spiritual world, these are all like Chit Shakti. Understand? So then there is Maya Shakti. So Maya Shakti is like the shadow of this Chit Shakti. Maya Shakti or the Achit Shakti. So when you say Achit Shakti, that is like temporary, this, it is said that he actually says that Krishna's Chit Shakti is called Vishnupad. He gives this, like description. Krishna's Chit Shakti is Vishnupad, meaning intimately connected to Vishnu. When you say Vishnu, that's like a generic term for God. God who's like resides everywhere. And when you say Vishnu or Vishnu Tattva, we're referring to like Krishna, the original, and all his manifestations. And they're always in what you call, and him and all his Shakti, this Chit Shakti, they're always in what Haridas called like pure existence, Shuddha Sattva. When you say Sattva, Sat means existence, no? So Sattva, that state of existence. What kind of existence? Shuddha, like pure, meaning there's no mixture. Here, in like say in the Gita or like in the material, in our teachings, about the material world, you can hear that there are three modes of material nature, right? What are they? Sattva, Raja, and Tama. So that Sattva there is actually not Shuddha Sattva, not pure Sattva. Like when you say Sattva, sometimes in English, and most of the time in English, they translate it to goodness. Goodness. But a lot of people, it's a little confusing. It's like, why goodness? Like this. Sattva really means existence. So, the existence here, so, let's say, Sattva meaning, in that modes of material nature, the Sattva, that is the state of, like, maintenance, so you're existing. But that existence there is touched by, like, birth. There's always creation. Like, you exist now, that Sattva actually happened because there's some creation. And that is from the mode of passion. And then, so it's touched by that, and then after that, then there's annihilation. Everything always have an end. Nothing here is like permanent existence. So they always have like creation and annihilation. So they're touched by the other modes. So it's called mixed. So it's Mishra Sattva. But when we talk about like Vishnu or Vishnupad, meaning his Vishnupad literally meaning the feet of Vishnu, or like intimately connected to Vishnu, that's his Shakti. They are Shuddha Sattva. They're not touched by the mode of passion, ignorance. So meaning they have no beginning and no end. They're eternal. So that spiritual world, the spiritual potency, they're eternal. And it says that even if they manifest in the material world, in the Achit Shakti, because like say the Dham, like okay, it may sometimes manifest in the material world, or Krishna himself through his different avatars, they come. His devotees, his associates, sometimes they come. They're all like, they have Shuddha Sattva, it's like pure existence. They're never touched by, so they're always beyond Maya. You understand? So, so there's this Maya Shakti. It is said that the boundary or the division of this Chit Shakti and this Maya Shakti is this Viraja river. So this Maya Shakti is the place where there's birth and death, like temporary existence of like the different living entities or different forms of matter, like this. There's 5 gross elements in this Maya Shakti, and then there's the 3 subtle elements. What are they? Mind, intelligence, and the false ego. These are all the different like parts of this like Maya Shakti. Now take note, they are also eternal. Maya Shakti is also eternal. Like Krishna's energy is always eternal. But that very, like Maya Shakti is the place where there's, like when you say Maya Shakti, that's the place where there's a 14 planetary systems, the different universes. That Maya Shakti, that realm of Maya Shakti, of Maya, is eternal. Because they're Shakti of Krishna. But in that world, nothing is like has permanent existence. Meaning like they take shape and they always have this creation, annihilation, creation, annihilation. It's different, and so this is a place where there's time. It's subject to time. But in the spiritual world, there's no such thing as time. Like it's eternal, and that is really beyond what we can think of. And so then there's the Jiva Shakti. Now the Jiva Shakti, in Jaiva Dharma, this is considered Tatashta Shakti. Because really the Jiva, by nature, he is Shuddha Sattva. He has pure existence in his original, nature. But now he is in Maya Shakti. Now he is in that world. He's supposed to be in the Chit Shakti, because his nature is Chit. But now he's in the Maya world. So really, like he's caught in like 2 worlds. Internally, well, he's actually Chit Shakti. But now he's covered. Understand? So that's why he's Tashta. And the Jiva, it is said there's 2 kinds. Srila Haridas Thakur, he was telling that the Jivas are motivated by the desire for pleasure. They're actually like pleasure seeking, and this is really because this is the nature. You cannot say this is a fault. By nature, we are all seeking for pleasure, for happiness, because that by nature we are eternal. We are full of knowledge and blissful. That's that Chit Ananda. This is the main feature of Chit, like Chit Shakti. So they are motivated by looking for pleasure. And he said those who look for pleasure away from Krishna, and it is said like they have all this desire for self-worth and like self-enjoyment, independently like trying to enjoy from Krishna, then they are attracted to Maya, and therefore they're bound to this world. Okay. Now those who try to satisfy this desire for like happiness by surrendering to Krishna, then they become associates of Krishna. They go to the spiritual world. So this is like a shortcut like explanation, no? So there's 2 kinds of jivas. There's the Nityasiddha and then the Nityapada. Now, it's very important to understand this, because a lot of people, if they don't understand it, then they're like, Nityabada, that's unfair. Like eternally bound, like this. This is category. We're not talking about like, oh, there's jiva, they're always like the jiva nityabada. That means that this tatashta region, actually there's the category of jivas, the nityabada. It's only a category because the jivas that's here, they're like, oh, eternally like bound. But it doesn't mean you can escape. You understand? Now also, very important to understand. Because there's an analogy like in Jiva Dharma. They say like tatashta jiva, that's why they're tatashta. Because it is said that they can see both worlds. And then they made choice. Like they look to the spiritual world, and some say, oh, by chance they look at the world, and then so then they go there, and then by chance you look to the material world, and then you go here, and you stay there. And a lot of people will always like have this like idea that, or have this feeling that that's unfair. Why like God allowing like this? Now, but we have to understand, we are all coming from Mahavishnu, right? Mahavishnu is in the tatashta position, tatashta region. He's not in the spiritual world, right? Although he is Shuddha, his existence is pure. But he's actually the source of the material universes. His very existence is in connection to the Krishna's desire for creation, annihilation of these material pastimes here. So that's Mahavishnu, the Purusha avatar. Now, all the jivas coming from him, they're tatashta. Now, when you say, oh, they made choice, and they're manifested and they made choice, think of it that this is just like a shortcut explanation. Think of it in the time of Mahavishnu. Look at like not on your time, because like look, if you look at it in your time, then you always like think like, oh, sometime in the past I made a decision, and then now I'm suffering, and that time I don't know, and so like this is unfair. But just if you look, Mahavishnu, he breathes, he inhale and exhale. When he exhale, then all these jivas manifested, all universes are manifested, right? And within that one exhalation, it's like a few seconds on his time. Then all these universes are generated. Lord Brahma, creation. The jivas manifest into different bodies, whatever. And think about this, just a day of Brahma, that's already 1,000 of the cycles. Wow, that's like 1,000 cycles from Satya to Kali. That's such a long time, really. How many lifetimes are there of the jiva is in that time, right? So, within that time, actually, along that time, how many jivas have, they looked, they're understanding the glories, they seek for their pleasure and they surrender to Krishna, and then they go like that. So think of it that really that this is what it is, that it's not that we made decision before. That thing is happening now. It's happening now. We see both worlds. Srila Gurudev is there showing us the spiritual world. Oh, in Braj, so beautiful, like this. And of course, you're in the material, you're seeing the material. Now, it's up to you to make the choice, like this. The choice is going on up to now. And then, those who are, sincerely, following Guru Varga, then they go to this spiritual world, like this.
He's breaking out.
Huh? Again, become, unmanifest. But they're how do you call this? They're how do you call it? Like potential. Like they're just unmanifest. They're just waiting for the next. So they're merged inside his body. But the thing is, it doesn't mean there's karma. There's all these considerations. So don't think that in the material world, that's okay. He's telling. That's why he's explaining this. Because he's saying like, oh, those who try to enjoy like separately, or like, you know, then according to their desires, so it's like they're traveling. Sometimes they go to the heavenly planets by their karma, or you know, by their activities, sinful activities like this. So then they, or by their desire, by their consciousness, you know. So by one's consciousness, then your gross body is determined. So there's like 8,400,000 species of life that caters to according to your consciousness. So those who are like big conscious, you know, or like the same consciousness as animals, or like really in ignorance, like a rock, or like a plant, like plants, they're just like, you know. So then they take birth accordingly, okay. And then so then they go by karma to higher species. So that's the nature of this world. Like you can go to heavenly planets or hellish planets like this. But even if you go heavenly planets, then that is like a place of suffering. There's still birth and death there. So everyone is suffering. Understand? So in this mixed existence, mixed sattva, whether demigods, even Brahma, they don't have Shuddha sattva. Brahma is like Tatashta jiva. So like when we glorify Haridas Thakur, I was like, who's Haridas Thakur? He's Lord Brahma. This is really not glorification. He's not. I mean, this is not his glory. You know, Lord Brahma is like one. Is like a jiva, right? Like, you can become Lord Brahma also. You have to understand who is Haridas Thakur. He is an eternal associate of Mahaprabhu. Like Mahaprabhu is original. He is Krishna himself, who is in Goloka Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu is in Swaitadip, in Navadvip. He has his eternal Nitya Siddha associates there. Not jivas from here who become perfect. You know, some associates there are like Sadhan Siddha also. Like you, if you become perfect and you become like a pure devotee of Mahaprabhu, then you join Mahaprabhu's Leela now in Swaitadip, and then you're actually not different from the Nitya Siddhas there. But Mahaprabhu has his eternal associates really, and Haridas Thakur is that. So when we say, oh, he's Brahma, that means, oh, he's like one jiva, and then he became Haridas Thakur. You understand? Huh? It's like, no, he's an eternal associate of eternal associate of Mahaprabhu. So we can take it like this, that when Mahaprabhu performed Leela here, then that, like Lord Brahma, then he gets a chance to experience like, oh, the glory of being such kind of an associate of Mahaprabhu. Like, you know, okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say Dronadara. Dronadara in some accounts, they say, oh, they became Yashoda and Nanda Baba. They perform austerities, you know. But really, our Guru Varga explained that no, they're not Yashoda and Nanda Baba. Yashoda and Nanda Baba are the eternal associates of Krishna. So when Yashoda and Nanda Baba came in Krishna Lila, then Drona and Dara, they get the chance. They also merge in their body and get a chance to experience this Vatsalya mood. And then after that, after their life, then they went to Goloka Vrindavan. Not as Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda, but also one like Elder Gopa and Gopi, having that mood of Vatsalya like Nanda Baba, and they are there having that relation with Krishna. So we can consider it like that. Understand? So Haridas Thakur, the Guru explained is that he is an eternal associate of Mahaprabhu. But as far as in Krishna Lila, who he is, like we don't know. Like in the Krishna Lila aspect, we don't know. But to just glorify him as Lord Brahma, that is like that is not full. That is not his full identity. Understand? So Haridas, he was explaining like this. He started with this, explaining about the different vaibhavas or different shakti, manifestation of shakti. Chit Shakti, what else? Which is? Maya Shakti. That Chit Shakti is the Maya Shakti. This is like the shadow of the spiritual world. And then the jiva Shakti, which is Tatastha Shakti. So this jiva Shakti is now in the material world, but they can go to the spiritual world. So this is what Mahaprabhu is asking. Now, how these jivas now who are stuck here in this, they are in that category of the nityabadas, you know? It's like how this, now they can be like delivered like this. So Mahaprabhu was asking that question. So we will continue in our next class, because this first chapter is very long. And also the next chapter, very long about glories of Nam. So we'll take it little by little. Any question? Or is it clear? Huh?
So much tattva.
This is very important, though. Very important. This is Sambandha. Sambandha Tattva. Sambandha Tattva meaning understanding, like the spiritual world, understanding the material world, understanding our position, the jiva. What is all relationship with this? And this is the main, like, within the three divisions, Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojan. Sambandha always occupy like so much discussion, you know. So like in Dasamul Tattva, for example, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the first 7 were all Sambandha Tattva. The first 7. And then 8, 9, 10, like Abhidheya and Prayojan. Also, same with the 6 Sandarbhas of Jiva Goswami. 4 of them are all about Sambandha. And the 2, one is Abhidheya and one Prayojan. Sambandha is like a big discussion. Even the discussion about God, that's like big. And that's why if you read Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana Shiksha, then like Mahaprabhu explained to Sanatana Goswami all the different manifestations of God, Bhagavan, like this. So, I failed to mention this. Then when we talk about manifestations of God, which are considered the Vishnu category, no, Vishnu Tattva. There's his original manifestation in where? In Goloka Vrindavan, no? There's original. Then he has his like Vaikuntha. Then there's in the Karana ocean, or like the source of the material existence. That's who? Mahavishnu, the Purusha avatar. And within Maya also, who's there? There's the Garbhodakasaya Vishnu and Kishkirodakasaya Vishnu. And actually all the different avatars that's all coming in the material world, they're all manifestation of Kshirodakasaya Vishnu. Let's explain like that. All of them are Vishnu Tattva, meaning they're always in like pure existence, never touched by Maya. They remain. When you say they remain the controller, they remain the controller, and they're the source of all the Shakti's desire to be fulfilled. You know. Okay, clear? No. How much time left? I think we finished because otherwise we open with a new discussion. Then that's a long discussion.